evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to channel. Now, I wanted to do this video in pretty much real time today, and it's a kind of pointless video if you ask me, but it's something that I was interested in searching up and having a look and just finding out for myself. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it in a video because today is Tuesday night. Today is Tuesday evening, so this will be the last video I actually record and make myself for almost 3 weeks, as in around, by the time this video releases, in around 5 hours I will be traveling to the airport to have my vacation in the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean with my family. And as you know, we were supposed to have a vacation or holiday a month ago, but with my airline company going bust, I lost out on that holiday, so we've had to reschedule it for tomorrow. So by the time this video goes out, literally I will be still at work. I don't finish work until 1 a.m. I get home at 1 a.m. and we leave at around 3 a.m. So I'm going to do a whole 12-hour shift, and then I've got a whole pretty much 24-hour travel. So it's going to be a tough day, but it's going to be an exciting day, very exciting day. Now, I won't be having anything to do with YouTube or Discord or the game for a whole 2 weeks. Now, when I say we're having a vacation, we're going to have a proper vacation. Beach, sun, sea, sex, and you get me, you get the drift. So I wanted to put this video out. So what we're pretty much going to look at today is the collectible tanks. Now, what I did, I pretty much on my contributor account own every single collectible tank except for two, which is a tier 3 tank, T70/57, and the Nightmare that is in the event at the moment. But I know the price of them, so I've got the price, and what we're going to do is find out how much gold you can earn if you own every single one of these tanks. So if I'm honest, I'm actually a little bit disappointed. I'm very disappointed with the total figure. I'm very disappointed with a couple of the tiers, which we will get to. So starting off at tier 2, there's quite a few tier 2s, but don't forget the collectibles are not just premium tanks that have come into game and they're collectibles. These are all mostly tech tree tanks and some premium tanks. So tier 2 especially, we have the T1E6, which is used to be a collectible, and you could actually earn 750 gold from that. So old premium tanks, you earn a little bit. I mean, you got the T7 car also 650, which is again a premium, but it was a free tank. Then you've also got tanks like the T18. Now, any old tech tree tank you can only sell for 25 gold. Now, all the new people won't know about any of this. They probably don't know, they don't even know these tanks exist. But all the old people, especially all the people that hoard, all the hoarders that own all these tanks, and they are literally just sitting in their garage collecting dust. Will it be worth selling these tanks? Now, if I'm honest, I sold most of my collectible tanks because especially most of the lower tier, I mean tier 5 and below, because they're tanks that I don't really play anymore, and I managed to sell all of these tanks, and I got a few tanks that I do play very regularly. So tier 2, I mean, I still have tanks like this, which is the Mini Mouse, the Panzer 38H, which is a great tank, but if you own it, you can sell it for 750 gold, which isn't so much considering you paid real money, and you can only sell it for 750 gold. And a lot of these, I mean, the Jag1, the A2, these are all tech tree tanks. The Tetrarch is a premium, the Light Vic is a premium. So in total, if you owned every single one of these tier 2 tanks, you can sell all these for 4,450 gold, which does not seem a lot, if I'm honest, considering how many tanks there are. So that then brings us on to tier 3. Now, tier 3 has an insane amount of collectibles. loads, and I mean very, very a lot of collectibles. Now, the Locust, tanks like the Locust, these was a premium, and you can sell that for 1,000 gold. But any tech tree tank, T82 for instance, you're only going to be able to sell this for 50 gold. So any tech tree tank that you've got that is a collectible, that's tier 3, is 50 gold. Now, tier 3 does still have a few of the old timers like the Panzer 2J, which used to be one of the most fun tanks in the game, and now it's probably the most useless. And when update 5.5 come, I sold this almost straight away because I didn't want to sell it. It was actually on my list of about 5 or 6 tanks to keep because it was so fun. But it's just crap. It really is crap. You can't pen anything. If you're top tier, people can pen you. I mean, you can't pen a BT7 with AP. You'd need Pramo, which if you can't pen a BT7 or a BT2 in any tank, then that tank is absolutely useless. So if you wanted to, you can sell that for 1,000 gold, which doesn't seem a lot considering it's actually quite rare at the moment. But when you add up every single tier 3 tank, I mean, you've got tanks like the Gross Tractor, or whatever, however you pronounce it. It's actually very, very rare. And considering it's so rare, you can only sell it for 1,200 gold, which I don't think is a lot at all, considering how rare it is. LTP, is quite a rare tank as well. BTSV, again, that is quite a rare tank, and again, you can only sell that for 1,000 gold. So adding up all these tier 3 tanks, you can actually earn a respectable 13,300 gold. Now, tier 3, which I haven't got on this account, there is also a T70/57, which I've said about, and you can sell that for 850 gold if you own that as well. So moving on to tier 4. Tier 4 doesn't have too many, I suppose. They have a shed ton of tech tree tanks, M3 Lee, T40, Panzer 30, ANA, the Lux, and you can sell any tech tree tank for 100 gold. So all the tech tree tanks in tier 4 you can sell for 100 gold. Now, there is a couple of tanks that I would recommend definitely keeping, and that is this tank right here, the Panzer B2. The only reason I would keep this is it's actually a very fun tank, it's a very enjoyable tank, and it's a very strong tank. Now, the only reason I would keep this is because this is only one of 2 tanks in the entire game that has preferential matchmaking. And what I mean by that, you roll out in the Panzer B2, you are 100% always going to be top tier. This tank never, ever, ever, ever sees tier 5. It only ever sees tier 4, and it only ever sees tier 3. Me and my workmate, literally when we wasn't so great at the game, we would roll out in these in a platoon and we would just dominate. I mean, we would get 7 kills just for fun. Also, with the Panzer B2 is the Valentine 2. This is also the second tank with preferential matchmaking. Almost the same tank. I mean, it looks different, but they play very, very similar. They're both slow, they're both well armored, and they pretty much both got a crap gun. But you don't mind having that crap gun because you are always top tier. So if you are thinking about selling these, I mean, maybe you can sell one, and if I'm honest, I'd probably sell the Valentine. I just prefer the Panzer B2, but definitely don't sell them both. I did, because I don't play lower tiers no more. But they are good to know that a lot of people don't actually know that they still have preferential matchmaking, and they are the only 2 tanks in the game at the moment to have the preferential matchmaking. So along with these, there is a couple of other premiums. I mean, you got the AC Sentinel, the Hetzer, and you got a few more tech tree tanks like the Duck AMX 40, which just looks like a duck. So if you sold all your tier 4 collectible tanks, you would earn yourself 7,550 gold, which isn't as much as the tier 3. I mean, it's almost half as much, but there is a lot less tanks. Now, moving on to tier 5, again, there is a few tech tree, there's a few premiums. This M4A2E4 was a premium, quite a rare premium, if I must say, and you can actually sell that for 2,350 gold, which isn't so bad for a tier 5, but considering how rare these tanks are, I don't think it's worth selling it for that gold unless you never play it. I mean, if you never play it, then keep it. Why not? You have obviously tanks like the T-67, which was a tech tree, and if you got a tech tree collectible in tier 5, you can sell them for 250 gold. Also in tier 5, you have the Hydra, which on EU, this is quite a rare tank. On NA, it's not so rare because NA, for some reason, always sell this tank, when EU always sell this tank, which is the KV220T. For some reason, Wargaming never sell this on NA, but they have sold it on EU quite a few times, and they've also sold this tank on EU, so I don't quite understand why they are not selling this on NA. There must be a reason, but I have no clue. But if you do own it, you can sell this for 2,500 gold. Now, adding up all those, the Scavenger, which was the Halloween free tank, you can only actually earn 250 gold from that. And also in there is that Nightmare tank, which in the Halloween at the moment, you can also sell that for 250 gold. So basically not even worth selling. They're free tanks. What are you going to do for 250 gold? You're not going to replace a premium tank for 250 gold. So in total, tier 5, if you sold every single collectible, you will earn yourself 8,750 gold. That then brings us on to tier 6. Now, tier 6, there isn't many at all. And I mean, none. There is actually, well, there's 5, but there is actually no X premium tank in this list. There is 5 tanks there, and they were all tech tree tanks. Now that you got the T21, the M4A3E2, which is a great tank, the VK3002M, which is a good tank, the T150, which was replaced in the tech tree by the KV2, and of course you got the Churchill GC, the Churchill gun carrier, game carrier, this ugly looking tank here. Now each one of these tanks will earn you 500 gold. So if you sold all 5 of these, you would earn yourself 2,500 gold. So not too many collectibles in tier 6, and actually no premium tanks that moved to collectible in tier 6. So moving on to tier 7 again. Now there's not many tanks at all, and in fact this time there is only one tech tree tank in there, and that is the KV13. Now this is one of the tiers that I was very disappointed in with the price of the gold. I'm not disappointed with the tech tree price. I mean, if you wanted to sell this KV13, you would earn yourself 1,500 gold. Now, not too bad. Now, if you look at the premium tanks, so you can earn yourself 1,500 gold for a tech tree tank that you had for free. Now, these tanks are all pretty much, I mean, you've got the Predator and the Vindicator in the store, Gravedigger in the store, and you can sell these for 2,500 gold, which is just 1,000 gold more than a tech tree. You pay real money for these tanks, you pay crates for these tanks, and you can only sell it for 1,000 gold more than a tech tree tank. And I mean, the Smasher is one of the most broken tanks in the game at the moment. Who the hell would want to sell this for just 2,500 gold? But if you did want to sell, if you did own all these and you did want to sell them, you're only going to earn yourself 11,500 gold, which isn't too great, considering that there is 4 expensive tier 7 premium tanks there. So that is tier 7. Moving on to tier 8, in fact, there is actually 0 tier 8 collectibles in the game. They are all premium tanks, and there is no tier 8 tech tree tanks that was removed from the tech tree. And also, which I was actually shocked about, and I don't understand why, there is no tier 9 collectible tanks. There is quite a few, well, there's 4 tier 9 premiums, but there is no collectible tanks. I don't know why Wargaming didn't use these as collectible tanks, just like they have with tier 10. So tier 10, they have 4 collectible tanks, and that is the T95E6, the T22 medium, the Badger, and the AMX30B. Now this was another tier that I'm very, very disappointed at. All these tanks are very expensive, and when I mean expensive, they have all come in crates, all of them in crates. And at the moment, I think that was the only way, maybe not the 30B, but this is the only way that you'd be able to purchase any of these tanks at the time of making this video. And I was very disappointed because, say, the T22, when that first come, people were spending £400 or £500, £400 or €500, dollars to get this tank. Now, after spending so much on a tank, I was very disappointed to see that you can only sell it for 7,500 gold. And each of these 4 tanks you can sell the same, 7,500 gold, which I just think is a disgrace. I really do think the price of these is an absolute disgrace, considering how many crates went in. I mean, the Badger, I spent over £200 on the crates, and I don't even own the Badger. Imagine if I no longer like the tank and I just want to, I finally get the tank, or I did get the tank on my 30th crate. I hated the tank and I wanted to sell it, and I just think 7,500 gold is just useless. So if you did want to sell all 4 of them tanks, yes, you can earn yourself 30,000 gold, but I just don't think it's worth it. I mean, 7,500 gold for a tier 10 tank that you've spent hundreds on, I just think it is not good. Not good at all. I think at least even maybe double it, 15,000 gold. That's how much definitely these should be worth, because these are never going to come for sale for 15,000 gold. Come on. I just think it's a disgrace that how cheap these are if you did want to sell them. But you do have people, I don't know why people would want to sell them, but you do have people out there that does sell these, strangely. So that is the end of the list. Have you added up everything that you can earn? Now, I was actually very disappointed with the outcome and the total figure of every single one of these collectible tanks. There's a lot there, and I'm sure there is a lot more to come. So if you owned every single one of these tech tree tanks and these older premium tanks, you would earn yourself 78,050 gold. Now, for me, not even the 4 tier 10s are worth that. Not even the 4 tier 10s are worth that amount. So I just think it's a shame, because there are some people that want to sell the tanks. I mean, I sold all my lower tier tanks pretty much from tier 5 to tier 2. And to be honest, if you wanted to sell them, you're still going to earn just from the tier 5 to tier 2, which if you don't play them tiers no more and you used to be a collector, then you can actually sell all those tanks and you can still earn yourself over 30,000 gold just from tier 5, tier 2 to tier 5, which this is exactly what I done. I earned about 31,000 gold selling them all those. And out of that, I think I bought the AMX 30B, and I think I bought the K91 as well out of that. So it was a good trade. It was a very good trade, because they are tanks that I love, and these are tanks that I'm definitely going to play. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't ever know that you could earn so much gold from selling these collectibles, if they are literally just earning dust in your garage, some of them I would probably sell. Now, it's different from me because I own a contributor account on NA and EU, so if I really wanted to, I can still play all these tanks. So there is still a few tier 10 which I don't understand are not collectibles. I mean, you got the M60, which definitely should be a collectible, as it was a free tank to a lot of people, the Chieftain, and the 121B. I just don't understand why Wargaming have decided to add some collectibles and some not. It just really baffles me. And also tier 9, I don't know why they haven't moved these. Now, if this was up to me, I would actually remove the premium status and I would put them all as collectible. Every single premium tank I would move as collectible. If you paid real money, you should have the option to sell that for gold in return. Now, people don't like the idea of this because people just see collectibles, and Wargaming have already said that collectible tanks can be nerfed, but at the moment we haven't really seen that. I mean, there is a good thing here with the Smasher. It's broke, but Wargaming still haven't nerfed it because it's still a kind of a premium tank. People will still pay real money, so they don't like nerfing these collectible tanks. So if it was up to me, I would probably turn every single one of these tanks into a collectible, and every premium tank into a collectible, and then it's up to you what you want to do. If you buy a tier 7 and you actually hate it, sell it. I mean, there is loads of tier 7 premium tanks, and I just think you should have the option whether you wanted to sell these for gold or not. It's your money, you paid real money for these tanks, and at least you can get is some gold back. But that is my opinion. I mean, I'm never going to sell these tanks on my own account because I do play tier 7 and up and tier 6 sometimes. So I would never do it. But there are some people out there that really want a tank. And I mean, really want a tank. Say they want their dream tank and they really, really want the T22. And it comes for sale for 30,000 gold. And they really want it, but they've got no money. Now, why not sell 10 lower tier premium tanks that you're never going to play to get the tank that you're going to play non-stop? It's worth it. It would be worth it. So that is basically it, guys. I am now going to finish work and get on my vacation. You guys probably won't realise, you won't notice I'm on my vacation because I've still got a video dropping every day. And in fact, I've got a new series coming for the 2 weeks I'm away. The first week should be starting on Thursday, I think, is my favourite tech tree line to grind, and then the next week is my worst tech tree line to grind. And also I have chucked a few replays just on the evening time, so some days or most days you're actually still going to have 2 videos dropping every day, so you won't actually realise that I've gone away, as you will still get the footage out. But I hope you enjoy the video, guys. I hope you just let you know that how much that you can actually sell these tanks for if you really, really wanted to. But don't forget, a lot of them are not worth selling, and if anyone sells tier 10, then they're stupid. But I'm Meadsy69. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.